Gomez, and I'm the creator of Bouncing Betties. This is my vlog, Wednesday Wonders. Wednesday Wonders are vlogs of my opinions, thoughts, and experiences of daily life. This particular Wednesday Wonder is for those people who highly value negative opinions to the point where it deters your life decisions or towards pleasing other people and not pleasing yourself. So if you don't have that struggle where you're constantly trying to please other people because of their opinion and you just do what you want, then this video is not for you. So let's get into the question. Should you expect support from close family and friends when you start to begin a new goal, a new endeavor, so on and so forth? Something brand new that you want to do, that you're really excited about, that you really want to accomplish and move forward with, and you want to give it to, share it with your family, and you're expecting them to have the same feedback, and they're just like, oh, So should you be expecting them to see and feel what you see and feel when it comes to the motivation level? And to be quite honest, no. The answer to that question is no. And let me tell you why. For those people that want to support you, will do so freely. They won't expect anything back. They won't ask for freebies. They'll just either like, comment, or share your material, or really believe in what you're doing, or really like what you're doing. It has nothing to do with them being your relative or them growing up with you. It just, they obviously just don't see what you see or have the same motivation as you. But it doesn't mean you should be discouraged because they don't have the same motivation as you, or you think they don't believe in you the way you think they should. It goes right into my next thing. You have a vision that they can't see. So just because you're really excited and you're really motivated and you know what to do and you shoot it to your mom or your dad or your aunts, uncles, or your friend from the block or anything like that, and they're just like, oh, okay, like whatever about it. It's just because they don't see what you have in your mind. Your mind is like amazing. And obviously we all know anything that you can envision in your brain, in your thoughts, your motivation will push that thought into existence. So just because they don't see it doesn't mean that it's not a great idea. They just can't see what you see. So that goes into my next topic as to just because they don't see what you see, that means that you have to do all the work 1000%. That means you are your number one fan. You are your number one employee. You are your number one go-getter. You are the one that does the marketing, the blogging, merchandising. You do it all. If people see how much work you're putting into this and then decide and be like, oh, hey, if you need help, I'm here, whatever. That's awesome. That's great. They may not see your vision, but they just want to help because they see you working. That's also that's also amazing. Now, the whole point of this video, like I said in the beginning, this is for people that highly value negative opinions to the point where it has an effect on your life decisions. This is the whole point of the video. Now, if you're that person, that type of person where, let's say your mom says something to you and it's like, you say, Mom, I want to be a mechanic or something. And your mom's like, can't you be a doctor? And you're just like, Mom, I like cars, and she don't hear you. She's just like, you need to make money. You know what I'm saying? It's discouraging. And it's your mother, of all people. Sometimes, and there are mothers and there's people out there that do not support the way, you would expect someone to, I guess. So that's the thing. That's what this video is for. For those people that hold those opinions very high to the point where their life decisions and what they want to do is diminished or minimized, and then they don't pursue it. Now, I can only say this from experience. A lot of the times I had self-doubt, and a lot of the times I had self-doubt for other reasons, like people telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing, all that jazz. And then I went and had my son, and I was doing what I had to do, trying to support my son and I. Finally, other things happened, and you know what? You get kind of over it. I can only speak from my own experience and my self-doubt, and kind of like saying, well, am I even good enough? Or is this good enough? Or maybe my mom is right, or yeah, I should just do this. To be honest, every job position that I've ever had, I was always catching myself sketching, always drawing, always painting, always doing something. I've always wanted to pursue Bouncin Betties because that was going to be the name of my art and my brand. It just took me a long time to do that. I don't have all of the supportive roles, to help push me or anything like that, or encourage me or anything like that. So not only that, I had negative people in my circle, and then I had my own self-doubt. So those are just a combination of the two, which are not the best things to have. And so that's why I'm putting this video out, because I don't want you to make the same mistake if you have the same situation where your family and your friends, they're not supportive. Some are not supportive, or your friends are supportive, but your family's just whatever, nobody cares type of thing. You also self-doubt yourself, so don't self-doubt yourself. If it's something that you want to do, if it's something that you love to do, oh my goodness, it's the best feeling ever when you start doing it 24/7. It's amazing. And they don't live your life, okay? You live your own life. If it makes you extremely happy and positive and wanting to give back to the community or do something amazing for the world, then why not do it? It's just crazy. So, I didn't think that way then, and guess what? I think like that now. And it takes a lot for someone to say anything to me to deter me from something that I want to obviously do now. It's just before, as a younger child, as a kid growing up, it was a lot totally different, a lot more difficult to even think of, and all that jazz. You are your number one fan. So first, let's recap. Again, this video is for those that other people's opinions greatly affects their life decisions. And the question today is, should you expect support from your family and friends, close family and friends, when you begin to start new endeavors, new goals? And the answer to that question is no, and here's why. For those that want to support, will give support, right? If they want to, they will. You don't force anyone to do something you want them to do. They have to want to do it willingly. Into relationships, but that's another vlog, another day. You have a vision that others cannot see, so don't be discouraged. And if it does discourage you, just remember that others will like what your family and friends don't. So if you're pushing something, moving product, creating something, and your family and your friends don't believe in you, or they don't like it, or they say something that's kind of discouraging to you, remember that they don't like that. Someone else will like that. They have their own opinions. They're their own individual. Yes, you grew up together. Yes, you're same blood. Yes, all this other stuff. But they are somebody else. And what you are doing, someone else will like. You'll vibe with someone else just right. Don't dwell on it and just be happy. If your mom, dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, homeboy from the block since day one, if all those people are not supporting, you see that they know that they see your hustle. They see that. That they see that. And they don't ask to purchase something from you, or they don't ask to help you, or they don't share, or comment anything, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Let them be happy anyways, and just continue with your ambition and move forward and focus 1000% in what you need to do. Now, I'm a person that believes in God. I do believe in Christ. I am not perfect. I am far from perfect. Yes, I know. But that's what makes it more beautiful, is that he allows imperfect people to come close to him, which is why Christ died. So I pray about stuff. And if you're anyone that also believes in Christ and knows him and is a friend of his, then you can pray and ask for guidance. If it's so discouraging to you, if it affects you in a way where it's well, maybe I shouldn't, then pray about it. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't lose anything. It's more gaining. You gain more than you do lose. So pray. Ask God. Pray about it daily, every morning, every night, anytime. Now, negative people. If these people, or anyone in general, period, if those people find time to be negative and not support you, this is what blows my mind. Absolutely just baffles my brain. But there are people that go above and beyond. It doesn't even it doesn't even show your character. It shows their character and what's wrong with them. And little do we all know that when we start being negative or when we naturally say something, it's showing who we are inside or what's going on inside. I don't know how many times I've made a Facebook post about my baby dad that I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty bitter about this. And then Facebook decides to be like, this time last year, and I'm just like scrolling through my posts from, I don't know, 4 years ago, and it's like, yeah, I was super mad. Way mad then. And I mean, maybe I had right too, maybe I didn't, but I was like, yep, that tells me something was really wrong with me then. So it's like the difference. People show their emotions with being negative, with saying negative, nasty things, with it just shows. And it's crazy that people just have the ability to just blurt this negativity onto something else that could, whatever they're saying could be highly irrelevant to what they're saying because they're dealing with something else. Those people that find time to be negative towards you and what you're doing, they have no place in your mind and in your heart. So don't even let those things in if it's just straight negativity. If it's someone's just stating their opinion of what they see, that's different. But I mean, they're saying some nasty things, they got no place for you. So there's a difference between constructive criticism and just negativity. There's a difference between when someone says their opinion. Like, if you show the world your little piece of art and you're just like, look world, and everyone's like, oh, that's great, that's awesome, that's amazing, blah, 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 blah. You get all these great comments, and then there's just that one person, and it's like, oh, that looks like an eggplant. And then you're just like, but it's the Hamburglar, you know? Like, where do you see an eggplant? I mean, it's very similar, but I mean, so it's like, what? I don't understand. Okay, so accept it. That's someone's perspective of whatever it is that you're doing. Nothing wrong with that. It also depends on the person, like I was just saying. Let's just use me as an example. Let's say you have a tia or an aunt, and she's telling me, and this is not a fact. This is not true. I don't ever talk to my aunts like that. They don't talk to me like that. So this is not a fact. So let's say they're like, mija, why don't you draw more flowers? Everyone's doing flowers. The flowers are trending. Flowers are blah, blah, blah. This is that. Me personally, I only draw women. I draw females. I can incorporate flowers, but I only draw women. That is all I do. I don't follow the trend in that sense where I just do what everyone else is doing. I create trends. I create things so that other people can relate to it. I don't just follow. And I could take it that way. Like, okay, you want me to be a follower because maybe you don't like what I'm doing or you don't like what you see already, and that's not who I am. And I can't deter myself from who I am because you say. See what I'm saying? Although their intentions were extremely honest and innocent and nothing, negative from there. That's where you determine from the person if it's a negative thing or it's just kind of like a constructive thing or it's just, their opinion. But don't be discouraged about it. For instance, this is a true story. This is a fact. This happened. I've wanted to ride a motorcycle, and I'm the only one out of my brothers that do ride. Well, I don't ride anymore because I don't have a bike, but if I did, I would. But out of my 3 older brothers, I was the only one that went and purchased the bike and taught myself how to ride. I told my mom about it first. I always try to go through my mom first with a lot of things. But she's always the type to just, she gives her opinion. It's a motherly opinion. And I told her one day, I was like, I think I'm going to go buy a motorcycle. And she's like, in Spanish, "Estás loca? You're crazy. No, te puedes morir." And I'm like, Mom. And now, before I went and I told her this, I was like, I know exactly what she's going to say. So I have to have a comeback. I have to know how to react and respond. So I was like, you know what? She's going to say I'm going to die. So how do people die, really? Do people die from living in a bubble or in a box or being protective or in cushions? No, they don't. They don't survive by living in a bubble or living sheltered. People don't survive like that. As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. You shelter a child, and the moment they go into the world, into life, they fail immensely. You keep them from learning how to determine good and bad relationships and all these other things, and then they go and find out, and then they end up with a serial killer. Who knows? So, anyways, back to the story. I was telling my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna get a motorcycle. And she's like, "Estás loca? Te vas a morir. te vas a partir la madre, and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you know what? People just stand and die from brain aneurysms. And then she was like, okay, cabrona. She never approved it though. She never approved it, but she was like, okay, you got a point. Like, you know what? Yeah, people do die, but like, why push it? Why pursue it? Why this is that? And it's honestly, it's like, no, I'm not pushing it. Anything is possible. I could die driving my car. It's a necessity. I need to drive my car, right? I could die in a bus. You know, buses get hit by trains a lot. Trains derail. People get hit by bicycles while they're on them. You know, anything is possible. The only thing is that it was fun for me. The idea of riding a motorcycle was fun. How was I going to allow her to deter me from that life choice and not be able to experience life because she believes I can die from that, which is a possibility. However, that's my life, my possibility. Anyways, I go and buy my bike and I come home and it's in the garage, and then she comes home through the garage. She didn't even see the bike. And I go into her room and I'm like, did you see it? And she was like, see what? And she goes back into the garage and she sees my motorcycle there. And she's like, how did you bring it home? This, that. Oh my gosh, she's like, me vas a dar chorro, no voy a poder dormir, esto y lo otro. She's like, you're gonna give me diarrhea, I won't be able to sleep, and I don't know, it was just funny. But I mean, when it's your time, it's your time. Your appointment, you'll always be on time for your appointment when it's for your time to meet the Lord. It always will be. You can't deter that. But I thought it was pretty funny. So that was one of my many life experiences that ended up getting me to this point where I'm at now. So as a message from me to you, I can only tell you that don't allow people to deter what you want to do from you living your life, you experiencing the world, you traveling. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be dangers everywhere. Yes, there is. There always will be, but be prepared. Always be prepared. For instance, I had my leathers. I had my helmet. I had my gloves, my boots. I had what I did. You know, I've crashed my bike. I've dropped my bike. I've fallen. I've ridden 2 hours on my bike. 4 hours, 3 hours on my bike straight. You know, I've done those things. I've pushed the limits. I've tried. Same thing with joining the Navy. It's like, oh, you know, you're going to do this and do that. I mean, we deal with weapons all the time. There's mishaps all the time. There's people that keep their finger on the trigger when they're not supposed to. You know? So it's just a lot of things. A lot of things can happen anytime, any place, anywhere. But, I mean, don't keep yourself from experiencing life, you know? The only thing in my experience with all of this is that it's my art. So it's personal. It's coming from within of what I think and feel and what I want to produce and show and give. And then there was my self-doubt. So don't do that to yourself. Give what other people may want to see of yourself, of you. The people that love you, that want to see more of you. They know you have a talent. You can sing. I have a friend. She has an amazing voice. She's super tall, super beautiful, and she's so scared to sing. But her voice is just gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and she's so young. And I'm like, oh, this is for you. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? So if you're watching this, you have the most amazing voice, Erin. And I've told you this before, but I mean, I can't give you advice if I'm not following my own with my art. So, but now I'm doing it. So I really, really hope you pursue writing music and singing, because let me tell you, girl, it's amazing. It's amazing. So that's my 2 cents for today. Wednesday Wonders. Every Wednesday I'll have new topics about different things. If you can leave a comment of maybe new topics that you'd want me to talk about, or what my opinions are about those topics, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Go to www.bouncingbettys.com, BOUNCIN, no G, Betties.com. Please support what I'm doing now as a beginner or starting. I appreciate anything anyone does, absolutely, for me. As for today, should you expect any support from your family or friends? Expect it? Absolutely not. But when you get it, man, be absolutely grateful. This is Daisy leaving you with that. Please leave a comment, like and share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next Wednesday.